All right, guys, thank you again for joining us on another episode of the Calcioteers. Guys, what a day. What a crazy 48 hours. Oh my gosh. I'm sure we've been talking this on our separate podcasts and stuff like that. We've been talking to friends, family about it. If anybody doesn't know, I'm sure you've been living under a rock, or maybe you're not a footy fan. You've been scrolling around and be like, hey, well, see what these guys are talking about. We are talking about the European Super League, and we are talking about the villain. Literally, I was just talking earlier before we all came on. If you would grab every single villain, every single universe, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, you name it, and you put them together, you get Florentino Perez. Now, guys, to me, and I feel disgusted by it. I'm lost at words. If anybody doesn't know, so basically how it worked is that was it what three over clubs, right, that were participating
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
Super League?
just real quick. So it was
Go
in
for it.
Italy, it was Juventus, Inter, AC Milan. In England, it was the big six with
Mm-hmm.
Spurs and Arsenal for some reason. In Spain, it was going to be Atletico, Real Madrid, and Barca.
Barcelona.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Sevilla were invited, rejected. Betis and Villarreal all invited, all rejected. And the reason I'm wearing this Bayern jersey is Germany were the only league that said no, fuck that, and we're not interested in that. So it was the whatever 12 teams that were gonna. They were trying to get some other ones to get involved. PSG said no as well, which is surprising because of all
Mm-hmm.
teams would think the money grabbing PSG would do it, and essentially they were just going to detach themselves from European football and create their own league, which would have basically ruined the fabric of the game and the game I found in love with and everyone else is.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically trying to destroy football, and obviously Florentino Perez may be the actual devil after
Mm-hmm.
this. Like if I had to come up with a Mount Rushmore of evil, he's on my floor.
Mm-hmm. Around Monument people. Yeah. 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 No, I mean, when obviously this isn't the first time him coming up with this. We've heard a couple months ago and rumors about it in the past, but the audacity to come in and not even hear anybody and just claim. Obviously, there was talks and contract, whatever, but to pretty much come in and say, no, no, screw all of you guys. I'm the president now. It's like from Captain Phillips. He's like, look at me. I'm the captain now, and he just took over everything. Didn't care about anybody or anything. Made this scheme and say, hey guys, want to make money? Okay, cool. Then whatever. He did his thing.
Did you hear his comments about that people aren't going to want to watch football between the
Yeah,
age of 16 and 24, and if they
he's
get kicked out
insane.
of the World Cup, we'll make our own World Cup?
Like
The
he's
No.
level of
ins-
arrogance is ridiculous.
like, and it's funny because he was on the Spanish radio, and he
Yeah.
and the struggleness of him naming out the teams was hilarious. Obviously, he
Yeah.
got his La Liga ones. He probably wrote them on his hand, and then he's like naming off. He's like Talfi, Metetefedi. He's got the lips. He's like
Yeah.
Arsenal, and then he forgot. He names them all, and he
He
forgets
said
Tottenham.
Leicester. Yeah, he said Leicester
He
instead.
said
I was
Leicester,
dying.
and then he forgets Tottenham. How do you forget Tottenham? You guys have been in business with Morte,
Leicester
and
should
then
have been in there,
of course, oh
and
no,
Aston Villa too.
oh, 100%. I agree, 100%. But the audacity that you forget, sorry, Tottenham. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Like you just did business with these guys over the summer too, with Bale and everything else like that. And then, so I don't know. Francesco, there was also rumors going around as well that I call Mr. Unibrow. Your president got some backlash because, sorry to get off the topic there. Manchester United's buddy there,
Yeah, Ed
Mr.
Woodward.
Wood,
Yeah, he's
he
gone.
left, so
Yeah.
that's confirmed. That we
Yeah,
know.
that's done.
And then reports already, it's like, oh, Juventus, but he's out, he's out of there. So you can confirm, like, is he out? Is he not? Like,
No,
give us a.
Yes, I think it was
he
just
made a statement. He made a statement
Mm-hmm,
denying the rumors, saying he's staying.
mm-hmm,
The extra group made a statement saying he's staying. That rumors are false. This kind of
mm-hmm.
gave me some hope there.
Oh my god, I was like, yes, 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 yes. It's interesting because Elliot were talking and saying that Roma did a fantastic
Yeah,
job standing their ground. I was so proud. Me being a Laziale and Roma being my rival from to the day I died, but the respect I have for Roma is incredible because me being a Laziale, I know for a fact Claudio, Michelin man over there, would take it in a heartbeat. He would take it in a heartbeat because that
No
guy
doubt.
doesn't not care. And I love seeing that everyone kind of. I mean, obviously, you start off with the big six, and then slowly you get to see everyone kind of go down from there. So, um, I mean, what were you like? Where were you guys was happy? Because obviously, like I stopped. I was a little bit boycotting a little bit. We saw Elliot with the social media posts and stuff like that. That was great. I had a good time reading those and stuff like that. What were your guys' like mindset now? Like, did you kind of start imagining a kind of alternate world with this Super League, or was it right or no? Like, first of all, for me, it was like right, no way, it's not gonna happen. And then my mind started playing tricks on me. It's like, okay, wait a minute. What if this were to happen? What if that would happen? Like, it was just starting to happen. So, what were your mindset when it came to that announcement and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. During the whole thing, this has been going on for years. The rumor of a Super League, and every
Yeah.
time I've heard it come out, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is never gonna happen. Big deal. And then when I saw the official club statements, I'm like, oh shit, this is real this time. And I was just in pure disbelief. I was imagining, okay, you know what? Next season we're gonna face Liverpool City. Like, what's gonna happen? Then the allegations came out of, if you do in the Super League, you're banned from your domestic league,
Yeah.
and if you want to return, you're gonna go to fifth tier
Fifth year, yeah.
football. You're gonna be banned from Champions League forever. Any European UEFA competitions. The players can't play for their national teams. This is a mess here. It was just within 48 hours. It felt like a giant April Fool's prank because within
Mm-hmm.
those 48 hours, the team said, okay, yeah, we're doing this. Everyone's on board. We're doing this. And the
Mm-hmm.
whole football world took a break. It was everyone got no matter what team you support, everyone was united to disband in this Super League. And then today, it's funny because I was talking with the guys at Six Side, like, let's get a podcast out now because like the topic's hot. We got to strike the iron when it's hot. And as we were recording the podcast, I'm pretty sure you could literally hear it in the podcast. My phone was just blowing up. Arsenal left, City left, Chelsea left, and you just see within the 48 hours the cycle turned. But the thing that people aren't understanding here, glad the Super League is like disbanding so far. Hopefully, from what it seems it is, but the teams that joined, the damage is done already. Like,
Yeah.
within the public eye, the teams will never be viewed the same. The owners, the presidents, they'll never be viewed the same. And I think that's especially Agnelli. I think he got the Perez has always been hated. He doesn't care what anyone. He cares about himself and his money. That's it. With Agnelli, I think that's the one that got the most backlash, especially with Sefrin. He lost an amazing job as the chairman, the president, with the with UEFA and stuff, and now his relationship with Sefrin, he's another godfather. So that relationship, the bridge is burned. So I mean, I think he got the most backlash out of everyone. Perez, that guy, what he's done, he should be banned from football. He should be banned from anything. The guy's diabolical, manipulated every single owner and team. And then it's funny, the second he went on that Spanish radio show, I was actually listening to it. I kind of had Enzo from Six Out translating it. And it was what he was saying. And what's happening here? So you saw Perez wanted to just help himself and his financial needs instead of others, and that's why this whole thing's getting disbanded, in my opinion.
So, sure, you cut out there a little bit, Francisco. So basically, Enzo was from Six Side was translating the Spanish radio show that we earlier talked about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, what else was going on? Sorry.
Basically, the second he went on that radio show, everyone was on board with the Super League, like for the teams, obviously the teams that were involved. The second he went on that radio show, every team, like that's when the reports came out that the executives were kind of thinking to themselves, hey, we didn't sign up for this. I don't know what Perez is talking about here. We were lied to. We were manipulated. And that's kind of when it started to say, okay, we don't want a part of the Super League if that's what your plans are.
Right. And again, that just goes to show this is I don't know. I'm also worth. I hate the guy. Clearly doesn't know anything about football. Maybe has some idea, but they go on his radio show, mispronounce team names, forget about team names, and then go around with his project, saying about this, and that. And teams are like, oh, hang on, wait a minute. We didn't, like you said, we didn't sign up for this. What are you talking about? And then this is the guy you want to lead the Super League. Like, it's scary. And I wonder what else he's going to pull coming back. Because like we've all said, this isn't the last time we've seen Perez. Like, he's going to come back, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny. Even like Sassuolo, Roberto there, Sassuolo's manager. Before this surfaced a little bit, there's reports saying that he may take the Shakhtar Donetsk job in Ukraine. And then right away when this happened, he's for sure saying like, I'm going. I don't want to face Milan tomorrow. Like, this is disgusting. This is Sassuolo. This is a coach that's not like a big end team, whatever. And Ellie even said too, dude, take it. If I was him, I would take it. Like, you're gonna be in Champions League, you're gonna be in here. Like, dude, just take it. Like, forget about the ifs and ands and City off for a second, because it's like, And another thing too, we discussed earlier. Where was Ronaldo? Where was Zlatan? Same Antonio.
Silence.
Yeah, and it's like the players that we thought were gonna say something kept their mouth shut.
I think they were forced to, though. We saw it with I think with the Premier League, the Premier League players like Cancelo said something and then instantly took it down. I think the clubs urged them to say like, listen, you're not allowed to post anything. You can't talk about this unless you get back in the corner. Especially earlier today, Pirlo, when he was asked about it, he kind of had to beat around the bush. He kind of said, Agnelli's our president. I trust him. Whatever he does is best for the team. Kind of had to. Exactly. It just for Pirlo, he was back in the corner by Agnelli. Agnelli said, "Listen, if they ask you, this is what you say. This is the script. You don't say anything else." And it's sad to see how the owners and the club treated the players and staff, because you saw no one wanted this. Chiellini did. I think Chiellini, he was a very advocate for saying, I want the Super League to happen. So I mean, I think he was one of the only players.
Yeah, because Herrera, he was kind of the first ones to kind of surface a little bit from PSG. And again, PSG shocking us all from not, saying, hey, we don't want this. Like, we're good on, like, yes, okay.
It's because they didn't need the money. Well, they're well off from everyone else. They don't have, they already have that advantage. They don't need to
exactly
build up on it.
When you look at Man City, though, it's just like, okay, you know what I mean? It's like, they were already involved, and I don't know. It was just, it was crazy to see. And again, Elliot, I apologize for talking smack a little bit of PSG and having my different views on the Bundesliga. Now my views are different, and I'm sure I mean, like I said, you've been going through some stuff and stuff like that. What was your initial thought process when you came to this Super League?
Well, no, I thought it was over. I thought football was dead. I mean, that's what I think for so many people, that's kind of the attitude that we all had, because it's not just the fact that it's so dumb and stupid, and it's just being. I really like what Gary Neville said when he talked about this is being done basically through money and greed. And first, it was this whole idea that they were going to detach themselves from their leagues.
That's insane. When I heard that,
changed everything for me, because I'm like, I don't want to win the league then. I mean, it's Lazio, Roma, Atalanta, Napoli. That wouldn't mean anything. The reason, I think for so many people who've won titles, that when I was a kid and winning the title, the satisfaction of that was the fact that Juventus were denied. As much as it was for us winning, it was the fact that it took us all the way until the end of the season, and we had to win that game to beat Juventus. If Juventus doesn't exist, then we're Juventus, because we've gotten second place probably more than most teams should. So it was that part. And then you think of the Champions League, what's going to happen here? And then you look at this situation where, okay, so Porto winning the Champions League, Leicester City happening, Ajax beating Juventus and Real Madrid. Those moments can't happen anymore, which kills the entire unpredictability about football.
Exactly.
Yes,
The beauty of the game.
yes, the big teams are going to win most of the time, but to eliminate the possibility of those moments was just, it was going to kill the game. And again, it would have been like, and yes, the Champions would still exist, but you would have teams that normally should not be in the Champions League there. It'd be like a semifinal between Wolfsburg and, Real Sociedad in the Champions League semifinal. And again, Bayern and PSG would just continue and continue and continue. And it just, I think just the way everything happened was tragic. And again, fair play to the Bundesliga for doing, that thing. And so initially, I was just so angry. I couldn't. I'm not even gonna front. I was crying, man. I was just so distraught because the game that I fell in love with was being destroyed because of people with money and greed and all these other things. And it just, the power of this was unbelievable. Too, with how big this was, not only just in Europe but everywhere. This is a major story, and again, I think it comes down to the power of the football community. So for those of you, people probably know, there was a big murder case being settled in my city today. Yeah. That was, and still, the Super League happening and the Super League saying no Super League was still higher trending than this when the situations happened today. And it's just like, the reason we were able to do this is because of the power of the football community. Yeah. And I don't care, it's the biggest community in the world. It becomes to the point where, like, again, when I found I was watching the Roma game, and halfway through, I mean, for the time being, I'm not a Roma fan. I'm a fan of football, and together we need to come together and try to save the sport, because it was going to essentially be killed because of all those big teams. First, there's issues with why Spurs and Arsenal were involved, and some of the other ones even. So, and Villa has a European Cup. Spurs haven't won anything since the dawn of time. And then you have obviously other Europe. Ajax. Why weren't Ajax part of this? Ajax are bigger than 95% of the clubs. Yeah. And it's come to the point where it's such the decision that these clubs make. Yes, it's over, but it doesn't remove the fact that now we have to go in Serie A week in and week out, knowing that those three clubs were okay with this. And that, again, it's not happening, but it doesn't remove the stain that they've left on the leagues. So yes, the Serie A can rebound, the Premier League can rebound, the La Liga can rebound and still be great leagues. But as far as I'm concerned, the Bundesliga has just jump kicked any gap that, like, I think Bundesliga is still significantly, but because of those actions, they have put themselves in a place. And now the Bundesliga is going to be the place to go for players who want to leave their clubs, because they know they do the things the right way. And I'm not just saying this because I love watching the Bundesliga, but it's just so many other things. And even though they've backed out, there needs to be consequences for these clubs.
100%.
I don't know what it would be. I think there should be some point deduction, and I think some of them. I think you have to treat all of them the same. And I would say, personally, I would kick them out of Europe for 2 years. And people who are on the other side of this sort of conversation is like, oh, well, then Bayern and PSG are gonna win the Champions League for the next 2 years. That's not my problem. You made those decisions to sell your soul to the devil, literally. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm not really sure what the punishment should be, but there should be some situation. And it's so interesting how the clubs making it changes your perception completely around them. Now Bayern's the biggest club in the world. Nobody's even, like, anybody in this bracket is no longer, to me, a massive club because of the selfish decisions that they made. And you look at all these things. And obviously, Inter I hated before. I hate them way more now. I used to love AC Milan. I hate them now. I hate every fucking team in this group. And the two that were the worst for me is Liverpool and Barcelona. Barcelona have a slogan that says more than a club. Johan Cruyff did not die for this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then you have Liverpool. You never walk alone. And the actions that those clubs have made in this decision is totally against what those clubs stand for. And again, I think I want to touch on one more thing real quick. If they did this, the money, they would be great for those clubs, and it would almost annihilate some of the lower leagues. Like, think about teams like Genoa, Bologna, Sampdoria, how are they going to survive in that system with the lack of money that they have? And then if you go really deep, and we know the story of Jamie Vardy going from like the 25th tier of English football to the top, where his rise, those leagues would have not existed anymore because they would not have the financial power to be able to still be a part of it. And again, I'm glad this happened. I'm glad it blew up and all that stuff, but it's nowhere near the end. And it's so funny that the football's for the fans, yet during this situation until recently, we felt completely powerless. Like we can't do anything. I thought it was inevitable because you think about the money and the Glazers. Agnelli's worse, as bad in this as well, but the Glazers and obviously Fiorentina Perez I think is the worst part of this. And now I hate the Buccaneers and I hate the fucking LA Rams as well because of these situations. And it's just, I don't think they truly realized what they could have done to the sport. Again, it still would have been more popular than anything else on the planet, sports-wise, but it would have ruined the sport that we all fell in love with and things like that. And it's just a disaster. And again, you look at these teams and there's kind of a stain on anybody who's the 12 clubs that were involved in this. And it makes sort of, on a personal note, I'm like, obviously I'm a Roma fan, but I'm now going to be covering a league with 3 teams that did something unforgivable. How am I going to continue with my writing in a league where I'm putting extreme amount of effort in what I'm doing for Serie A? I could do that for the Bundesliga. So it wasn't about me not loving Roma. In the moment, it was Roma's statement made me kind of reconsider that. But at the time, I was like, all right, I'm just going to go to the Bundesliga, and that's where I'm put my flag in there because the Serie A stuff, it was like, if I'm going to put my effort into it, I would like to be a part of something that's not toxic. And no matter what happens, Juventus, Inter Milan, and AC Milan are a part of this, and they were okay with that decision. So it's not just one of the things, it collapsed now, so now it's like it never happened. No, those clubs still were okay with that. Just because they dropped out doesn't mean that they still don't envision that. And the fact that they were the last people to drop out of this thing makes it so much for Italian football. Oh, yeah. And it's like we worked so hard to get people to stop talking shit about Serie A, yet we were the last ones to do the most common thing. And I know I've been talking for like 10 minutes, but it was just a tragedy, and it could have been the worst thing to ever happen to football.
Mm. Yeah, because it's like it's funny how Perez, like, he tried to defend it. He's like, oh, would you rather watch Barcelona and Eibar, or would you rather watch Manchester United and Real Madrid? It's like, yeah, dummy, I would like to watch Real Madrid and Manchester United.
But if you're seeing them every week, it becomes
it kills the illusion. That's the whole thing.
Carragher pointed this out yesterday. He was talking about Liverpool and Leeds. This is a big game for Liverpool trying to get into the Champions League. Yep. In 12 months from now, if they were to go ahead with this, they would become meaningless. So league games it just kills football because there's no promotion, there's no relegation. No matter how good or bad you are, and again, in that league, Arsenal and Spurs would win maybe one game.
Oh, yeah.
They could not get removed from it. And that's the problem I have with all of it. And it's just the dumbest thing. Like, the fact that they thought that this was a smart idea, and again, they're just driven by money. John Henry better sleep with one eye open with the Liverpool fans and how they've been acting. Oh, yeah. They're going to rip that place apart until he sells. And Kroenke's selling. But unfortunately, Agnelli and the Glazers, Agnelli and Perez, I think it's going to be a little more complicated trying to get those ones out of town, and that's what needs to happen. And what I said before this happened, remember everyone's name that was a part of this, because we need to figure out a way to kind of remove them from their position of power, because they have power and they were colluding with each other. The Glazers and Perez were talking about this, and I actually have some suspicion that the Spurs sacking of Mourinho had to do with this.
Yeah.
And to kind of slide it under, because Mourinho getting sacked would have been a page one story, and it became like it just became like nothing because of all that. And it's just, I had so many issues with this, and it was like my blood was boiling to the point where it's like, I can't believe this is going to happen, because again, the fans don't have $10 billion. They have the money. They kind of hold the cards. But then FIFA came in and said, we're going to eliminate everybody from Europe. We're going to fucking not let you play in the World Cup. And we're going to sue everybody. And again, they're corrupt as well. But they did the better thing. And the funny thing is, when I first saw it, I saw it on IFTV first. And I thought, oh, there's no way. And then I checked other places. And I'm like, oh, shit. It's all popping off. And I'm so grateful that it's over. But I don't think people realize the amount of impact it could have had if this had gone through. There have been, I think we would have unleashed, it would be like World War III, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah,
sure.
anyway.
Imagine the other sport fans would look like, look at you, baseball fans, look at you guys with effed up, leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I tweeted at Roma English, or the Bundesliga, asking if Roma could join the Bundesliga.
Yeah. But yeah, to the Mourinho situation, like we talked about, and the thing is, it's like we don't know Mourinho, know how he is.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened? They had the meeting. Mourinho wasn't happy. Levy said, "Hey, buddy, listen, training time. Let's go. Get on the pitch." Mourinho's like, "Not a chance, buddy." You know how Mourinho is. He's like, not a chance.
He doesn't take shit from anyone.
Exactly. Back and
forth.
I
wish that documentary about Spurs was this year.
All or nothing. Yeah, no, me too. And my wife being a Spurs fan, she's pissed off, whatever. And it's funny. I showed her the short list of the replacements because now they're going through Ryan Mason, who was a Spurs player. He got hurt he had a brain injury or whatever it was. Yeah. He had to retire, and now he's going to intern coach, whatever. So
to coach a cup final as well.
Exactly.
Against Guardiola, the best manager in the world.
Exactly. So not only did you screw up your only tiny milligram chance of qualifying for Champions League, you put a coach that knows nothing against him, no coaching experience, and then it makes no sense. Then you're paying him out his contract, whatever, which was like 30 mil, whatever. So he's laughing. So Levy shot himself in the foot. Essentially, he's like, "Oh shit, what do I do now?" And I get it. They needed the money. Yes, the new stadium hurt them badly. Yes, Kane may be leaving, this and that. But you go and sack Mourinho? Like, come on, man. And you look at Levy. He looks like Mr. Clean on a good day with the bald head and everything like that. Like, he's not a well-known soccer guy. You can tell in the documentary, too.
And Spurs don't go to finals and win them.
No.
You know who does that? You know who wins finals? Mourinho wins finals.
Exactly.
Look at his track record. How are you going to sack a dude before a cup final against Man City?
It's like a week away too, isn't it?
Yeah. They're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
To be honest, regardless. But at the same time, with Mourinho, you have a shot. Yeah. You know, Pep Guardiola was going to do to Ryan Mason from a tactical point of view.
No,
it's going to be ugly.
Shreds.
Be so bad.
But Spurs thinks it's like a Di Matteo story. It's like
they're playing Monopoly.
Dude. Exactly, and it's like look at the short list. It's Ancelotti, Hodgson's from Leicester City. You got Nigel Goodson's
Nagelsmann, yeah.
Nagelsmann, he wouldn't even. The thing is, Nagelsmann is out of their pay range. Bayern Munich wants that guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You think he's going to Spurs?
No.
Spurs over Bayern.
And then Saudi too. Saudi's linked to my wife literally looked at these names. She knows someone of football, whatever. She looked at them. She's like, ew, no, call back Jose. No. Because in the sense of this, because the team, you look at the team, you look at the fans. Okay, at first they're kind of worried about Jose, but they learned to love that guy because forget about his results, forget about whatever. This guy's a coach that can go in, win cups, maybe not win cups, but he can pull a team mentally out of the slump. Yeah. Spurs are gonna really have a tough time. They're gonna have a tough time finding another coach.
He's not what he once was. He's not that elite manager that we. But he still has the ingredients to get something out of this Spurs team. And again, Harry Kane. He has Harry Kane playing the best football of his whole career. I mean, numbers wise, he's had years where he's scored more goals, but his goal contributions on both ends is ridiculous, which is why Pep Guardiola is probably going to, in City, you're probably going to get him or somebody else. But, I just doesn't make sense. Mourinho wins finals. I mean, yes, he's lost some, but he is with Spurs. So that's not totally on him, and he isn't what he once was. But in his career, he's won more finals than most of the Premier League managers that are active right now.
Come on, yeah.
So even if you're losing that, you gave yourself a chance with Mourinho because Mourinho and Pep had that thing in La Liga with Barca and Real Madrid back in the day.
Yeah.
Mourinho's Real Madrid broke the cycle with Pep's Barca, which was the best team I had ever seen. So the fact that they have that and the fact that he's done well in finals, to sack him before that, to give I don't even know who this Ryan Mason guy is. At least with Pilrow, he had experience of playing at a high level and etc. And again, even though he had, I'm sorry that guy got injured and couldn't play anymore.
Yeah,
but before that, it wasn't like Real Madrid and Barcelona were after him when he was playing for Spurs. So,
well, yeah, that's the thing. And it's again, I don't know. I was really hoping, and it's like, hey, what now for Mourinho? And then like, obviously, if Marco Rose, and anybody can disagree with me a little off topic, if Marco Rose from Gladbach wasn't going to go to Borussia Dortmund, I'd be like, Mourinho, go to Dortmund, dude. Just imagine Mourinho at the Bundesliga. Bayern big coach. Bayern Munich would be too powerful for him. I don't think Mourinho could have handled Bayern Munich. I think that's a
I don't think anybody's
animal
at the moment.
But just imagine, Holland might be leaving, whatever. But imagine like Borussia Dortmund and Jose. Ooh.
But there are jobs in the Bundesliga that would be available. I don't want him to have the Frankfurt job. I don't trust him.
No, that's what I said in my last podcast. I said maybe that'd be kind of cool in the Silva Mourinho pair, but like I think that he's more. I can't see.
I don't trust him with the talent that's on that team. They have obviously Silva, and then they have Philip Kostic. Right now I think he has the best cross of any player actively playing right now. Not in the Bundesliga, in Europe, in my opinion. And I don't trust Mourinho with that. But there are other jobs that will become available in the summer. He could get now the Gladbach job is filled now, and so is Dortmund.
I think he said he's taking a year off.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah. I'm assuming. I'm saying in a sense of like, taking a year off, coming back in a year, anything could happen. I mean, all these
jobs will open up too.
More. Yeah. Exactly. Right. So. I mean, I can't see him in Liga. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I can't see it unless it's like Monaco, maybe. But like, that's a big if. That's not a. I don't know. Again, like you mentioned earlier too. Like, he's a type of coach that can not ruin careers, but not utilize those players that are those.
I just don't trust him at this stage with ascending. I don't know if you call it under Silva ascending star. A guy who's proving to be world class at least this season. If he does this again next season, he's in that class. And then, but I don't trust him with those types of players. I do trust him in a less significant situation. I don't know if there's any in the Premier League. I don't think he goes back there.
No, he's not going to go back to Italy. He's not going back to Spain. He's not going back to France. There's no way.
Yeah, so it's literally France or Germany.
Yeah, and then that's it. Retire. I don't know, or even Portugal national team, which
I think he should coach Portugal.
Yeah, she said multiple times. Yeah,
Portugal have the map to win the European Cup, or not the European Cup, the Euros this summer. They will do that. They will do this. I think they'll manage the Euros incorrectly because they'll still try to make it as Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo's obviously their captain and everything. They should operate through the younger players. So Ronaldo, for me, if Portugal are going to win the Euros, either Felix, Bruno Fernandes, Andre Silva, anybody but Ronaldo has to be their best player. But they'll try to make it, I think, a lot about Ronaldo. And again, he can still produce, but I don't think Portugal as a team can win the Euros with that strategy. But that's just me. But if Portugal don't at least make the semifinal or something like that, the guy will either quit, and then Mourinho maybe slides in after. Just kind of like the old Barca coach, who's coaching Spain now. Similar situation, and I don't know if Mourinho wants the stress of a job that he's at, or the Spurs job, or any big team that he goes to. It's gonna just add stress. If he goes to a team like in the middle of the table, which he'll never do, then maybe. But I think Portugal job is kind of tailor-made for that guy.
It'd be nice to see a different change from a club coach and see what he can do international level. So that'd be kind of interesting.
Come to the MLS.
I said
imagine.
I said come to TFC, see what happens.
I'll take Minnesota United.
I don't even want to talk about TFC right now. Fucking disgusting. Anyways, so pretty much discussion of the Super League. We hate it. You're right. These clubs should be punished. These directors, these masterminds behind it should be punished. Don't get me
They should
wrong.
be forced to sell too, kind of like the Clippers owner back in the day.
Yeah, I agree because guys, you said it too. Like for me, it's going to be really tough for me to take these clubs seriously. Take Milan seriously, Juve I never take seriously. You know me, I hate Juve. Inter, Inter, and stuff like that. So it's gonna take a long time. So
could you imagine though if everyone got negative 10 points and AC Milan won the league by default?
Yeah, point deduction. Like obviously, maybe not demoted to Serie B. I think that's
No.
of stupid and pointless.
I think point deduction and suspension in Europe.
I think that's fair. If
That's fair.
1 to 2 years suspension in Europe, I think that needs because every team left UEFA, like they literally like put their papers in to leave. Now they want to call back. So I think 1 to you. As much as I hate it, I think it's fair.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy. Decade no European football do that, but I think. And again, people are going to say, well, then Bayern Munich and PSG are going to win it, but they decided not to join.
Yeah, they decided not to join.
That's not our problem. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing is they can't deduct Roma for having an accidental under 23 player and then not deduct points for these whatever 12 teams for basically trying to leave the. It's just gonna be totally corrupt if they get anything for that, and they should. The question I have really is whether or not these punishments will be handed out this season or next season. I'm guessing it will be next season.
It should be next season. It should. Yeah. I mean, for them to do it now, it would be a joke. They'd be like, okay, no problem, dude. Like obviously. Europe would be 1 to 2 years. Okay, that's where they have to suffer, but with point deduction, stuff like that, or whatever.
Yeah, but like, if 100%. But I'm just kind of thinking of the comical part. If they did it, Leicester City would win the league in the Premier League, and then and then it'd be like Alonso winning Serie A.
If Alonso, oh man, I would see that would be great to happen. But the only problem is. Gasperini is their coach, so now he gets a Serie A title under his belt. He's going to be the next Mourinho or whatever. I don't want to knock Mourinho, but he's like, one title, me, yes, I'm best. I'm the best. Okay, yeah.
When Mourinho went to Chelsea, he was a special one. That's what he said.
He was.
What he said actually got taken out of context because he didn't say I am the special one. He said I am one of the special whatever. I'm one of the special ones, whatever. But he at least won titles. He's got more trophies in his cabinet than Gasperini will have if he restarts his career.
Gasperini reminds me of, I don't know if you've seen this as kids growing up, Recess. You know Randall? That kid used to tell on people. And that's
a little rat, yeah.
The little him and Dale remind me of just Randall. And I'm like, dude, I hate you so much. So yeah. But yeah, this is very good topic, good conversation to talk about. Obviously, there has to be if there's no punishment with this,
there has to be a punishment.
I will take the whole organization and just like take it as a joke and be like, "Are you guys effing kidding me?" Like they should not be a slap in the hand. There shouldn't be okay next time. No. This was a diabolical plan from years ago, or they talked about like you guys said. Now they try to execute it. They failed miserably. Now it's time to get punished. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. So we shall see in the next coming days. But we'll see what happens. Now, we'll quickly run through the results of Serie A, and then if anybody wants to talk about anything else regarding the Super League, by all means, just shoot your shot. Nothing too crazy over the weekend, guys. I mean, obviously, Torino and Roma. I mean, I don't want to make excuses for Roma. Obviously, a depleted Roma team in a sense over the Ajax. Whatever, it is what it is. I was hoping they would lose against someone in a bigger caliber.
No, I've accepted we're getting 7th and we're going to be in that stupid
well, that's the thing.
UEFA, whatever it's called. UEFA
Conference League.
The Conference League. Whatever. I hope it's a huge trophy, though. Just so if we win it, I can say, yeah. No, that was terrible. at this point, based on the performance, they should just make a statue for Morial just because he has to play with all those fucking jokers every week.
Yeah.
It was really bad. It started so well. Roman scored 3 minutes in, and then we were being, infiltrated by a team that doesn't score any goals.
Right.
And Morte, I don't know why they keep putting that guy back. And then,
My God.
Lopez, again, in the 2 games against Ajax, he just proves that he doesn't need to be rested. He's fine. And then Bruno Perez, I still don't understand. He's leaving, but I don't understand how he gets into this squad. A lot of the stuff was just out of place, and it was just a really bad performance. But again, with the Super League stuff, I didn't really care after we were losing. I'm surprised that we lost to Torino of all teams. So we're definitely not beating Atalanta, and things like that. But it's a bad. The season's over. It's all into the Europa League. If Roma could just not play league games for the rest of the season, I'd be okay with that. I would just rather forfeit every game this season and just until we're not, as long as we get 7th and not drop below that, because we're not going to be in Europe by the league. Mr. Immobile has scored some goals this week for the first time in a long time.
Oh my God.
So and you guys won, so the separation's like 4 points, and I just don't back us to be able to turn it around. It was a really bad performance. I'm not going to give the American kid too much flack like everyone is. It is his 2nd game, and he's been in the country for less than a year. It was a really bad game from him, but it's not like it's not like everybody else was brilliant, and he was the reason we lost. He was terrible, but again, he's not. It's just going to take some time for him to settle. I think people should wait to pass judgment until he's been at least a year in before people say that this was a bad idea or whatever. But other than that, it was a bad game. Roma got beaten, and there goes any chance of Europa League next season, unless we win Europa League. So I think that's where it really comes down to. But that's that.
We shall see. I made a bold statement. I got some slack for it too. That Villarreal, like we even talked about it too, Villarreal being the dark horse and stuff like that. And I've always in the background, Real Madrid and Villarreal are going to be in the Super Cup final, and I think I jinxed it because shortly after Super League, Champions League is and Europa League are canceled. Like I was like, oh no, but if you guys can kind of get past, the only threat.
I don't even think that's a hot take. Villarreal should be the favorites, and they should win it.
Yeah, they should. They're dark horse. They're scary.
They're
scary.
They're
They're
dark
scary,
horse,
man.
but they really fucking shouldn't be. They're the best team left. They're better than Man United. They're better than Roma. They're better than Arsenal. So they should win it. And
Arsenal's still in it?
Yeah, Arsenal, Villarreal.
I'm kidding.
Emery has won the Europa League 5 times. That's more European cups than I'll see in my life. So I think if you're on the Man United side of the bracket or Roma, if you get to the final, you should feel like you can win it. But it just depends on circumstances. And obviously that's going to be tough. But again, they can have the most talented players. They can have the better team. We have all the mental advantages. And
you have Jordan.
I feel like people don't take into account how important that actually is. Because why did Liverpool get knocked out of the Champions League last year? Because of Andrew Robertson opening his mouth and Diego Someone saying, "I'll take some of that bulletin board material," and then boom, get knocked out. So my thing for them, Jordan played the Premier League, Jacko played for City, Man United, Chris Smalling and Mkhitaryan played for Man United. But my favorite story on this whole thing is Lorenzo Pellegrini was interviewed before we advanced or something like that.
This is a good story.
And he said that when he was 10 years old, he watched Man United get rip apart Roma, and he's been waiting for revenge for 10 years. Because if you just imagine the Atletico situation, Simeone took advantage after that comment, so he had 2 weeks to mold on that revenge. Pellegrini has been molding on this, and I did the math, for over 4,000 days. So I don't know if we're going through, but I think he'll outplay Bruno because he's gonna be on a fucking mission. Again, we'll probably not go through. It'll probably be Man United, Villarreal, but because of the mental advantages that Roma have, they have a chance. But no, I think you're totally right. Villarreal, based on what's left, should win it, and that would be amazing because I think they haven't won in a long time, and Emery goes there, wins the Europa League first season. I think that would be great.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, for sure. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we all know what you're gonna do if Roma wins. I mean, so um, if we talking to about the Atlanta and Juve game now, a couple things I just want to take away from this. Was it really necessary to rest Ronaldo? One, two. What the hell is McKinney playing on the right side? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Couldn't you just play Dijon Mustard, 44, Mr. Blondie on the right side, and then call it a day? Like,
Yeah.
did I miss something? Is he hurt? Like, I last time I checked, he was pretty healthy. And again, Core, Rabion. I don't know. I hate I uh, talking bad about Rabion. I like him. Again, he's not really playing his worth, even though he was on a free.
He's free, so he is playing.
Exactly. But
he's
again,
not worth anything.
He's not worth anything. But again, like, just something about him, just like, I like Rabion. But the core, like, Francesco, what was kind of going on with the game? Like, and Dybala too being subbed off. Like, was it just a disaster from the beginning of the Ronaldo thing? Was just a domino effect from there? Or is it just other things as well? Like, what was kind of that falling out of that game coming into it?
Yeah, I think with the Ronaldo situation, the fans were under the impression he was injured. He wasn't fully fit. That's kind of why he had to not play this game. Dybala, I just think he wasn't fully fit to start 90 minutes, especially against a tough Atalanta team. I think he had a poor game that kind of set the tone for the rest of the team. Kulusevski, I like him, but he's been underperforming. He's had some good moments, but for the main 90 minutes, he's been underperforming. I think that's why Weston started, just so he could drift into the middle and give Cuadrado that free range of the right side. I think that's kind of Pirlo's plan when he starts there. But overall, the midfield, the midfield for Juve, it's always going to be a problem for recent years. I think Juve played extremely well. That was the first game I could say when I watched the Juve game with Orsato as the ref that he didn't favor us. I mean, the amount of times he blew that whistle, I thought the little ball in the whistle was gonna jump out. I'm gonna get some stick from this from the Atalanta fans. Malinovsky should have been sent off in my opinion before that goal.
Yeah.
He got a warning, then he got a yellow, and then he got another warning and another warning, and then he scored the goal, and then he got another warning and still not sent off. I mean, it was a disaster. The amount of fouls I saw in that game was just diabolical from both sides. I think Atalanta had like 20 fouls. Juve had 16. It was just a dirty game. Unlucky for us not to win, but when you have Wojciech Szczesny in it, it is what it is. The difference is he wasn't responsible for that goal either. It was just an unlucky deflection off Sandro's head. But the way he leads the back line, like when Buffon's in net, he touches the ball, but he clears it out all the time. When Szczesny's in net, he's trying to toy with the attackers, doing ball rolls against them. He's playing around the back. He calls for it back. You hear him yelling. I see Bentancur at the center circle, and you hear Szczesny yelling, pass, and he turns around, passes it back to Szczesny. It's just the way he leads the back line is a disaster. And every time he plays, I have no hope for a clean sheet. And I think that game set us back. But I'm gonna say the same line I say every episode. It's not over yet.
Oh God, this guy, man. So
I can't give up unless it's mathematically impossible. It will happen soon.
It will be soon.
Mathematically, Inter will win soon, but until that day comes, I have to have faith in the lads.
Man, I admire your. I mean, obviously it sucks. It's towards a team that.
I think you're just hoping for that point deduction for it, so Inter and Juventus can be closer.
But if they get a point deduction, it'll be like the same point deduction. So it's gonna cancel out.
So kind of, okay. No, I agree with everything that you said. I mean, it was a scrappy game. I wasn't really hoping a tie. I was kind of thinking it'd be a tie. Just because I wasn't ready to write off Juve just yet. But again, like you said, the midfield is always dicey. It's always been dicey. I'm not saying hopefully. If I was a Juve fan, let's say, in another universe, that obviously that would be something that you guys would want to
Yeah.
invest and kind of.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys need a good fullback. I mean, it's been
They kind of need a
it's been
lot.
given.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean, they're considering that they're still. I mean, I don't think you're in the title race anymore, man. But they're only in what, third, fourth place, something like that. And they have a first year coach who I kind of don't know. I don't think he really knows what he's doing. But I mean it. But Juve still do need quite a bit for them to sort of get over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know. I said this a bunch. I think OUR should be basically one of your top targets in the summer.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want them to get them, but from just what they should want is something like that. I know the Pogba thing is going to come up about 100 times.
Oh my
It's
God.
never going to happen. Plus, again, I've said this every time this comes up. It's not interesting. I've seen it twice
Every summer
already. But yeah, I think there's a lot need to be done. But I mean, I think midfield should be the thing. And even though Ronaldo's not at his level anymore, although the Ronaldo fans had fun with the fact that they lost without him, but they don't watch the games; they just watch the stats. But
when I saw that stat line, it just makes me cringe.
It's like, oh well, it's you without Ronaldo is like Crotone, or something like that.
Is it like, so you could disagree that Juventus without Ronaldo is not like, or is like Lazio without Immobile?
That's fair, but they're acting like without Ronaldo, Juventus is a horrible team.
Yeah,
it's a horrible team with no talent.
Yeah, I wouldn't say terrible. I mean, again, the midfield's a problem, but you look at the starting 11.
If Ronaldo doesn't play this season, they probably still finish in the top, because you have to mathematically figure that other people would score more. Chiesa would score more. Morte would score more. I mean, Dybala, if healthy, scores more. So they're still a top 6, 8 team, maybe even top 5 team still without Ronaldo. I just don't like how. I don't know. In either when a particular player has a bunch of just fans who are just not watching the game, that's where I have an issue. It's not the fact that they're saying that; it's the fact that they're just looking at the stats. Oh, Juve lost. See, they can't do nothing without Ronaldo without actually watching what goes on. But no, that I think that game was I think a tie would have been more justifiable, especially with no sending off. Neither team was really impressive, but neither team was terrible. It was just sort of like a battle between two teams that were pretty similar in that. But again, I think Ronaldo will come back soon, and then Juventus will have another chance to get it back. But I think Alonso win by it does more for them than anybody.
Yeah,
because they're still battling in that Champions League race against Napoli. And ultimately, I think that they will get it, but only because they have Zapata. If Zapata played for Napoli, I would change my mind on that one.
Yeah, I mean, if he was still there, how different that would have been.
Yeah.
Lastly, and then we'll kind of go over this week's upcoming games. Well, obviously, the Inter Napoli was 1-1. Danovic with the slip up there.
Yeah. Who cares? That was after the Super League announcement, so
exactly. I was more quickly. Lazio, Benevento, the Inzaghi bros, the Spazes, the crazy heads there.
That was a game and a half, that game.
Yeah, I mean, between the own goals, the penalties, Immobile finally getting on that sheet there.
He could have a hat trick too.
Yeah, good game. Don't get me wrong. I still feel like Lazio, I mean, still beating Benevento and stuff like that. Obviously, they're still not a threat. I feel like they still have a lot of work to do. Again, I've said it time and time again, Inzaghi being the coach is just a step in the wrong direction. I know Lazio fans give me grief about it and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say. Good game, all in all. Inzaghi, Simone was still running up and down like an idiot. His brother was kind of the calmer one, but they're still yelling there. But yeah, I'm happy to see Mobile get on the sheet. But I've said it like to myself as well. This summer, I mean, I really hope they get that Ukrainian guy from Ghent that I posted on my other page.
Yeah.
They need Cancedo. They can't depend on as much as I love Cancedo. He's just more of a super sub last minute banger guy. Correa is not really much of a dependent striker.
Yeah,
He can play.
you could. I'm praying to the gods this doesn't happen. But if you got Haji to replace Carrera, and then you signed the guy from Ukraine, I think you.
Yeah, Haji. Yeah, I know the reports. When I saw you posted that, I was like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, yes.
I, I heard I saw another one recently, so I think that's
Yes, I know what you're talking about too. Yeah, we're
yeah.
trying to stand all the Romanians. I think, like again, the future of Romania, like even Inter, they're going after that other guy from Bucharest too. It's just like we're seeing a new elevated Romania, and everyone's trying to get their hands on these kids,
Man,
right? So
it's like all the teams I hate are signing all my national team players because I think
yeah,
I
think
think just real quickly, I think the Romanian on Calgary should get a new team next season. He's been so
yeah, he
Brosman
looks like he is.
Marin. I think he'll be gone.
Mhm.
He'll go to one of the big teams. I actually think Napoli's the perfect spot for him. But we'll see what happens there. And then I think Dennis Mann will get another he'll get an opportunity to leave as well.
Yeah, I feel like someone big's gonna buy him, and then he's just gonna get loaned out right away. That's my opinion. Unless someone can utilize him right away and then knows how to do it. I don't know. I just feel like do that quick kind of because I think he deserves a bigger club, obviously, right? So
yeah, I'll take it.
I wish we could take him, but there's no. I don't want another. I want another center back for God's sake, or another fullback. So I can't think, or another striker. Anyways, match day 32 of 38. We've got Milan Sassuolo, Genoa, Benevento, Spezia and Inter, Crotone Sampdoria, Bologna and Torino, Juventus Parma, which is a scam. Like, I mean, come on, guys.
Dennis Mann hat trick.
Oh man, like I hope you guys lose. Udinese, Cagliari, Roma, Atlanta. I think that's gonna be the game of the weekend. Forget about Napoli.
We're gonna lose.
I think
we're definitely losing.
This is gonna be. We see how scrappy and
I think it'll be a close game though.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it'll be like 3-2. But I think Atlanta are better, so I think Atlanta will beat us.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be close.
It's gonna be a high scoring game for sure, and we see how annoying Atlanta can be, and they just pick, and unfortunately Roma. I mean, unless Roma pulled a miracle, which hey, anything could happen, right?
A draw would be a miracle.
Yeah, Napoli, Lazio. I mean, there's reports of Inzaghi getting a COVID test. I believe it was negative, so he's allowed to join up with the team. Positive or negative, it doesn't matter. I'm not excited for this team. Napoli. We always come in this cocky, and we always come out with their tail between our legs. So we'll see what happens with that one. I hope they win. We need this win. I mean, or else we're pretty much screwed, right?
I think that has 2-2 written all over it.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, Napoli's Napoli. They've had their kind of struggles. I don't see them enough to win. But same with us. I don't
want Napoli making the Champions League. With all due respect.
Oh yes. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there. So, anyways, this concludes our episode of the Calcioteers. Great episode. A lot of comments and stuff like that. We'll talk about more of the Super League if it comes or rises, obviously. Juve Merda. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. But again, best of luck through the rest of the clubs.
Juve Merda, AC Milan Merda,
Merda.
Also Merda, Atletico Madrid Merda, Barcelona Merda, all of them, all 12 can
all of them.
Rat shit.
If there's deductions, whatever, we're gonna do a quick 30-minute live or like a quick 20-second live, a couple second live, and just to see just our reactions and just see if we it's bound to happen, guys. So anyways,
it's gonna happen. I don't think it'll be news that comes out soon though. I think
it's gonna be.
They have to evaluate what happened. UEFA has to deal with it. Then you have to consult with a lot of different people, and then next. I mean, I think it could be as much as 10 points. Could you imagine that the top 10 Italy start with negative? Well, even if it's like -5, you know what I mean? They would have to win 3.5 games to get to 0.
I personally think there's going to be no deduction in Serie A, but there will be a deduction in Europe.
I think that's
I don't see the Lega punishing these teams, and if they do, it'll be something like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
I think just 2 years. No Europe for 2 years. I think is
I
is
think
good
that's
enough.
fair. Yeah.
Milan finally qualify and they can't even go
That would be hilarious.
after so many years. Um,
But
anyways, guys.
they
Yeah,
joined,
go ahead.
so they joined the things. They joined the Super League, so it's
But
their own
that's
fault.
but that's the thing, like you said with Paris and Bayern
Bayern.
Munich. It's like, hey man, like you did it. If we gotta win everything, we'll win everything. It's
Yeah,
done.
not our
Like
fault.
you guys are grown men, honestly, like literally. Um, anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe our YouTube channel. Coming soon, hopefully. Everything's gonna go on the podcast. So if you're out and about, or you're too busy making a vanilla sandwich and you want to listen to us audibly, our beautiful voices, that's coming out soon. So, anyways, guys, ciao for now, and we'll see you guys next time. Hasta la
Ciao.
pasta. See you guys.